that I started this space. I've told this story before, many times. I love the story. I love telling it because there's so many things, that come into play when it comes to story. Again, everybody come again. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Big Brother for me started years ago. I want to say me talking about Big Brother, it's not a new thing for me. I started talking about Big Brother years ago on my YouTube channel, on my everything I did stuff on my Big Brother. That was already a thing for me, right? Twitter, Twitter was never a thing for me. I never even liked Twitter, to be fair. Hey, Robin, what's up, boo boo? Sheena, who y'all see is Betty. She pushed me. We did a space one day on Celebrity Big Brother, and not even 24 hours, she hit me up and she was like, "Have you seen this space?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" I literally did not know a lot about spaces. I would pop into people's spaces or whatever. Maybe did one or two of my own, but not that much. And so all of a sudden, hey Frankie, all of a sudden she hit me up and she said, "Girl, this space is like at 1K." I was like, "What?" Because the reason why I didn't do it because I was like, nobody's gonna come in. If I do want to, people come in. I didn't see the benefit of doing it, even though things grow in time. But she was like, "Girl, it's like the views are growing. You should start doing spaces." And because of the fact that she encouraged me to, be more active on Twitter, because she knew me as a blogger, she followed me from being in another space. She tells it really well because I'm not really good with the names and stuff. But the space she followed me in, they actually did Big Brother space. They was the only one, and I cannot think the name of it. But she was doing some different stuff. But when I did that space, it seemed like it blew up. I'm not gonna lie. I started doing spaces with her by myself and with her because she was doing the Survivor thing. Next thing I know, with the whole Taylor thing, it really blew up. Me and Sheena would do space every week. I was doing them damn near every day. And there really wasn't people doing spaces. Not really. Not last season with it wasn't. Even when I, started really doing spaces, I was looking for other content creators. You know what I'm saying? One of the creators that reached out to me behind the scenes by spaces was G, because she started doing her whole thing and got her community, right? So for me doing it, I do look at it as a pioneer thing because Twitter Spaces was kind of still, people didn't really trust Twitter Spaces, didn't know a whole lot about it. Some people could record, some couldn't. It was still, like I said, kind of an iffy thing for a lot of people. So for me, when I was able to record, I started heavily doing spaces. And so I look at it myself, I look at Sheena, aka Betty, as y'all know her. Um, that's my partner in crime, and I feel like we were the pioneer queens. Why when I go to spaces, some people call me queen, this, that, and there. I take it as respect. I do. It's honor. I'm so honored when I hear it, but it's really true. As far as, I mean, we're a queen regardless of what of that. Let me just say that there. Period. But I'm saying, as far as the spaces, we were the pioneers of that. Now I call people kids because I'm older. I'm not 80 years old, but I'm older, so I call everybody kids. Everybody knows I say, "Hey kids," blah blah blah. I saw so many more bloggers come up this season doing spaces, and I love it. I do. I love it. I think that the brand is supposed to expand. With that being said, being a black woman in these spaces can also be difficult. And I'll tell you why. A male can succeed in any of the spaces, whether it be, Twitter space, whether it be YouTube, doesn't matter what it is. If they become a podcaster of some sort, it's nothing for a male to boost and go do this, do that, regardless if a woman before them did so much. And that happens quite often. Not to myself, but not just to myself, but to other black women. A lot of time we are the originators. We start a lot of different things and we support heavy. I know I do. Can't speak for everybody. I support heavy content creators who are coming up. If they're doing the same thing as me, I love it. I reach out to content creators, give hits in the half. If I thought something's kind of like, "Hey, you made I saw this, but the last video you did that," I'm that type of person. I'm a very respectful one because if I take something from somebody, I don't want to say take. when I was coming up as a blogger on YouTube, a lot of bloggers would take from me because I have original ideas. I'm witty. I'm crazy. It's a lot of things. So because my programs I created on my own, there have been bloggers who were way bigger than me that would take my ideas, and they weren't always black. I struggled with that in the beginning of my career as far as being a blogger years ago. I wanted to quit every day because of it. Every once in a while, I'll get my feelings by, but not that much. I'm used to it now. Smaller bloggers, content creators, and bigger still take my content and use it as their own. If I use something that somebody else does on my channel, I give 100% props. I don't care if that channel is smaller than mine or bigger. I don't care if it's a picture. I don't care if it's a phrase that they said or the idea that they had on their YouTube channel, whatever it is. That's called respect. In this game and entertainment, that is so missed. In this world, respect is missed. It really is, unfortunately. For a black woman, for me being in this business as long as I have, you'll see kids come up. I said men, because I'm being transparent about it. And this is no shade to men or anybody who comes up because I love it. Part of my brand is helping content creators. Part of my brand is uplifting others who may be struggling. Maybe I know something they don't. I'm that kind of content creator that will tell. I'll get DMs all the time. I saw you did this. How'd you do it? Oh, I did it this way. I don't have a problem because I feel like we all can eat. The table and the food is big enough for all of us to get full, is the way I look at it. And so it doesn't always happen in return for a black woman. It just doesn't. A male can come out here, do a couple of videos, and blow up. If you do get into the ring of this stuff, I'm telling you from behind the scenes, it's super difficult. You have to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, like the fuck, and still be like, I don't know. It's like, goddamn, get a sister, get a break. It's all a part of the journey. It's all a part of the journey. It really is. But I wish that the newcomers who do come up give the respect where it is. When I started doing spaces, it was on my spaces and even on Sheena's where celebrities from the shows would pop into our spaces and talk and say these things or whatever. And the fact of the matter is, I've interviewed half of them. And so I would talk to behind the scenes, say, hey, you have in my space. Now, there was a big controversy last season with Taylor and her coming to a space. I had nothing to do with the situation, but she was like, I ain't coming to no spaces. I was attached to it some kind of way. I don't even know how I wouldn't need my space. This is what I'm saying. I took a lot of slings and arrows last season. I did. Because people was mad about the spaces. I did a challenge after show last season. I had celebrities from the show that came to my space last season when I co-hosted with Cinco. See, with me, I've always incorporated my show with the cast. Every show I've ever done. I'm telling some of my tea here. Any show I've ever done, you will see the cast in my chat on YouTube. You will see them follow me on Instagram or Twitter, or you'll see them in one of my spaces. Because I do incorporate myself with the cast because they tell their story better than I do. So I always like to it's just more of a southern thing with me. It's not just Big Brother for me. I'm friends with celebrities from all different shows and different things. People don't understand that. I don't just do Big Brother. I don't just know cast from just this show. So sometimes I feel like it's a spit in the face, like, oh, bitch, y'all started that shit last year, but we gonna take over. That shit's not gonna ever happen now, this queen. That's why I made this space. The thing of the matter is, the respect's gonna be there whether you want to give it to me or not. I don't have to take it because it's there. I earned it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make a big fuss or go back and forth with nobody. I mean, I will if my name's ever called. I will say that. But I really rather not. That's why when I say I'm teaching or talking, I want everyone to receive what I'm saying instead of me coming up here going off and saying it, because I can do that too, but I'm like, nah. And I don't necessarily blame everybody because a black woman struggling, trying to do whatever, is not necessarily everybody's fault. It is what it is. Not everybody is for everybody. I am intelligent enough to realize that. But you cannot, the numbers don't lie. Take a what's his name? Kevin Samuels, for instance. That man was less than a year. It took him less than a year to get the numbers that he got. People couldn't believe that. It wasn't even a year. It was like what 9, 10 months to get with a black woman who's a content creator without maybe some big trending video taking years to get, or even other. I'm just saying it's facts. It's no shade against the black man or a male period who's in this business as me, blogger or podcaster or whatever. I am stating these facts because they're true. And I don't get it twisted. My brother going through a lot of crap too. I do know that. But it's okay to acknowledge the fact that black women bloggers do not get the credit, they don't get the acknowledgement. If there is a woman that's blogging about some of these things, it's going to be the white woman or who is non-black that may be covering these black issues. And I've seen time and time again. The same thing in the Big Brother house when you've heard people say, well, I don't want to, Mimi was there or any other black woman was in the house. I don't want to say this. She's going to get upset or she's going to get mad or she's going to go off. Because of that narrative, people write us off. Whether it's because I'm just being honest. If even to be a blogger, to even entertain me getting interviews, I never talk about this, and I try to keep that on the low. But if I was to compare my history of getting the interviews I've gotten, behind the scenes, easy to difficult, to a male blogger doing the same show, probably in less time as me. The features on different things, different magazines, or different podcasts you're featured on, the story would be different. These are the topics that nobody talks about. But you know me, I'll talk about it. I don't have a problem with talking about these things because it's an important conversation. Spaces was started by two black women. I'm sorry, Spaces. Big Brother Spaces got popular once two black crazy women, I mean me and Sheena, got on this bird app, as she says, and dragged the hell out of everybody from BB24. And it seems like people who I didn't even know were following me based upon the spaces that me and her had done together or the one I did by myself. I didn't even know. I went from having like I think at the time, I don't know if it was like 1K. It was pretty low. Hey Jazz baby. It was a pretty low number to where I am now with a really quick time period. Because the fact that when me and Sheehan started doing those spaces on Twitter talking about Big Brother, people had a place they could go to have a conversation, to talk their shit, so to speak, good or bad. And I would even have cast on here because as a blogger, I interview cast members. I've done it for years. So I do a lot of, interviews. So when people are on my, panel, it's very organized. We were the only one that had kind of rules. You couldn't talk over each other. You mute people are talking. You raise your hand. People were coming at us crazy because we had rules in the spaces. We really set it up in a way where it's like professional. We're going to have the spaces where everyone can speak, but we also make it open where a celebrity, a cast member can come on here and speak. And I've always had my platform that way. That's why I've always loved to interview reality TV cast over the past 10 years. And I'm not even saying this to get anything from anybody. I want people to understand I'm not saying this. I'm not calling anybody a hater. I'm not, dragging anybody, nobody's names or anything like that. I ain't saying nothing but facts. Because people will look at me and say, well, Camesha, why aren't you getting these interviews? Why did this happen to your channel? You've been doing this forever. You've interviewed this person because they know my receipts are long. But I tell them that has nothing to do with nothing. Sometimes it's who you know. And I hate to say this, people look at me as somebody to beat. Somebody to, and I understand that. You want to have a healthy competition. I don't trip on that neither. There's supposed to be a healthy competition. but I just don't see some of the respect because there was times there was nobody doing Twitter Spaces and frowned at it and looked at it like, "Girl, what's that?" Because I did it first myself. I did. Wasn't a fan of it until Sheena was like, "Let's do it more. Let's do it because you got really popular. People liked your space. They like because, like I said, I'm very animated. Y'all know that. I will cuss you out, give you love, sing a song, act crazy, do a whole scene from a movie scene, whatever. I love to entertain. I don't have to have a camera on my face. I don't have to have 1,000 people in my situation for me to do it. I've never had to have a crowd behind me. I've always been solo dolo. That's why I'm not even coming with a negative vibe. I'm coming with kind of like how your mama and your auntie sit you down and say, "Baby, you gotta respect me." You know what I'm saying? Without coming at you, I'm about to knock you at your ass out. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming like that. Like it's just respect. That's it. Because I respect all the content creators that I see on Twitter that's doing the spaces, that's covering, the show, especially when they're people of color. It's a beautiful thing to see. There's so many podcasters that are shining the cover Big Brother that I support, that I love. Because it wasn't like that in the beginning of me doing Big Brother. I was there in the beginning of commentating on Big Brother when nobody black, and they probably were. Let me be fair here. There probably were some podcasters and bloggers. They weren't active on Twitter because of the way it is with numbers and analytics. If you're not a 20,000 K YouTuber or Twitter, blah blah blah, no one's gonna really know you. And even then, you're not gonna be known. For a long time, a lot of podcasts and the black bloggers who did Big Brother, nobody knew their names. When you interview cast from like I did Taylor or even the Cookout, they was like they didn't know those black bloggers even covering the show. That is unfortunate. So when I speak out loud, or even when I got the interview with the Cookout, some of them, I jumped in their live. It's classic. I still have the video. I jumped in their live and I said to Tiffany and to Big D, y'all know me, I'm a rebel. I don't care to make it friends. I don't do it. It's my passion. So I don't never do it for popularity. I don't. I jumped in Instagram live and said, y'all don't interview black people? Baby, the world stopped. They couldn't believe I said it. The people recorded, screen recorded, it was all over the place. I did. Baby, the thing I like about Big D, I respect him. We had an interview the next week. I've interviewed Tiffany, I think twice. I've interviewed Hannah since then. Unfortunately, I had to do that. And talking to the cast, a lot of them didn't even know black bloggers wanted to interview with them. It was a lot of communication, a lot of broken things. But the biggest call out for me is that a lot of people didn't even know we existed. That's what hurt the most. All the work and advertisement that you do for your channel or whatever. It ain't just me. A lot of black bloggers, but black women bloggers, you don't know they exist unless they're trending. And that is the only way. I don't know. I don't. It's disappointing and it's sad. And sometimes I feel like people want me to change. If I changed who I was and did things a certain way, or if I was quiet or whatever, people's like this and that. If I have to change who I am to open the door doesn't need to be open for commission reviews then. If I have to change who I am or kiss ass or whatever the criteria is, that I need to buy in just to make that door open, I don't need it. I don't have to know producer or friends or the people from the show. Everything I've got has been on my own. Look at my progress. I hadn't had anybody help me. Now, mind you, of course, people support me. No, let me not like say it like that. People support me behind the scenes. They may have said I've had cats say a word here and there. But what I'm saying is, I've gotten it because of the hard work, and they've done it for me because they've seen my hard work. It wasn't given to me easily. I wasn't on nobody's team. I didn't work for a company. I had to work my ass off to get it. My resume is everything. I just interviewed Desi, the champion of the Challenge USA. That's my latest interview. And it's not like, I want you guys to understand that it's an emotional thing for me, because when I say I work hard, I work very hard to get where I am, because working 12 hours and then jumping on a live, which I've done it many times, 2 or 3 videos, and had no sleep. That's the dedication I really have for this. I don't think anybody even realizes it. Some people do. But because when you're passionate about something, it's a real thing. It's not a hobby. It's not nothing that I just wanted to do because I thought it was a cute idea, or because I saw. It's something that just came to me. Thank you, Queen, for coming up here. I was thinking about you. I was. Sheena is here, and I do want her to tell her, even though we're talking about the same thing, you have to understand. It's beautiful to hear because it's a beautiful story. How we met and how we started this. And I put, like I said again, I put origin story to Big Brother Spaces. It's no shade to nobody. It's a beautiful thing because it is the original story. Because I don't want to get misconstrued, construed, because in fact the ones who are doing it now, what I'm saying, I don't want anybody to think that because the people who are new coming in, like I said again, no shade, they think they started and they didn't. They was a part of the journey, but the journey started with me and Sheena. Real talk. Sheena, hey baby.
Hey, hi everybody. Hi Hash. Hi Isaiah. Hi Jazz. Hi Letitia. Hi Robin. Hi Frankie. Hi everyone. So wait, you told the origin story already or no?
I did, but it was like I couldn't remember. It's like the group that we first met in. So I said I wanted you to tell. I even said that. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. So the first Big Brother space I ever went into was BB23, was the cookout sidebar. And I started going in there, and it was a space hosted by Black people. And we were, of course, talking about the cookout, because there have been so many Black people that have watched Big Brother for years, but we had nowhere to go to congregate to talk with each other about the show. So when I saw that space, I was so excited because I was like, yes, I get to talk to other Black people about this show that I love. And so one day they had a space and Camisha came in and she started talking about how she wanted to interview members of the cookout, but she didn't see them doing any interviews with anybody that was Black. And so we're like, oh, wow, really? And so I followed her. She followed me back. And I said, I'm going to start, looking at your content. Because I was like, I think that's really cool that you talk about Big Brother. And so I started looking at her content, following her and everything. And so then I did some spaces about, BB23. I did some spaces about like the Challenge All Stars, the Real World Homecoming, because I've been doing spaces a long ass time. Almost since the very beginning when spaces came out. I used to do spaces and there'd be like only 3 other people in there. And I'd sit in there for an hour and just talk to 3 other people. I'm like, I don't care. So then celebrity Big Brother comes along, and everything that was going on with Todrick. And I said to Camisha, I said, Todrick is in that house acting a whole fool. I said, we need to do a space about Todrick. And she said, well, I'm going to talk about it on YouTube. And I said, no, You need to talk about it on Twitter because everybody's talking about it on Twitter. She's like, okay, girl, okay. So we do the space. We talk about Todrick, read him down. Space ends. Go on about our business. That night, I checked the space. I look at the numbers. I said, Camisha, did you look at this? And she said, no. I said, girl, this space has over 1,000 replays. It hasn't even been 24 hours. She said, what? I said, oh, girl, we need to start doing spaces. Every time Todrick cut up in that house, we need to do a space. Every single time. Because nobody else was talking about Celebrity Big Brother. I did not see a single other Celebrity Big Brother space. So we started doing spaces. Every time Todrick would cut up, we talk about it. And we were talking about how, like, you know, if y'all remember, like Cynthia and Carson, they were in there talking about, oh, we want to play a game of integrity. And it's like, child, that's not, y'all are not at the Babysitters Club. You're our Big Brother. And then y'all are playing against somebody who literally just had Tiffany and Kylan in his house for 3 weeks. You don't think they told him what he needs to do to win this show? And so that's what we would talk about in the space. And so we were talking about that. That was going well. And then ever since then, I said, girl, we just need to do Big Brother spaces. And we do spaces together. We do spaces apart. And it's been up ever since then. But like the reason that I personally, and I think this is true for Camisha as well, but I won't speak for her. The reason that I wanted to do spaces, not just about Big Brother, but about Survivor, about reality TV, period, is because if you look at who is commentating, who is podcasting about these shows, you see a lot of white men. And me personally, I don't care what a white man has to say about a black woman's game, a black man's game. I don't care. What are the black people saying about it? That's what I want to hear about. Because things like racism, white supremacy, colorism, misogyny, you don't have the range to talk about. So none of that's going to get talked about when you discuss the person's game, but all of those things are affecting the person's game. All of those things affected Taylor's game. And if you notice, when she did her deep dive with Taryn, he couldn't talk about any of that. She was bringing all of that up and he can't even respond because he doesn't know. And so that's why I wish that she had done a deep dive in addition to that with a black woman so that the two of them can have a conversation about it. Because what can he say? He has no experience with that. And so that's why I started doing these spaces. When Taylor was in that house last year, we were doing spaces about colorism almost every day to try to tell people, okay, this is part of what Jasmine is doing. When Amira is sitting in that house trying to act like she never heard the word colorism before, that needs to be discussed. So, like, we were talking about racism, colorism, bullying, everything almost every day when Taylor was in that house. And she can't speak. She's in the house. So we need to say something about it. And that's why I think it's so important that there are now a lot more content creators that are Black and people of color, period, to talk about, you know, what's going on in the house. And it doesn't need to just be Black people. It needs to be people of color, period. Like, who is going to be, you know, the Punjabi Sikh creator that talks about Jag's game? Are you going to start a podcast, Jazz? Maybe you should think about that. But who is going to talk about Jag's game from that perspective? Who's going to be the woman of Asian descent that talks about Blue's game? Like, it's not just about Black women. Who's going to be the person of Asian descent that talks about DX's game? Because to act like that didn't affect what happened to them in the house is a lie. Because it did. So it's not just about us. It's about everybody. There needs to be more content creation from people of color, period. So I just wanted to say that that's the reason why I started doing this. And I'm not going to stop doing it because here's the thing. Just because CBS makes a commitment and they say, okay, every cast is going to be 50% POC, that doesn't mean things are equitable just because there's more of you there. We saw what happened, the first episode of Survivor, what Emily did. So that's not going to change the way that some white people react. So as long as people of color are there, I'm going to be talking. I'm going to be running my mouth. So I just wanted to make it very clear. That's the reason why I'm doing this. That's the reason why, I'm here. And so it's not just about like talking for the sake to talk. I need to talk about things that white people don't have the range to talk about. And so when you feel like you're out here, you're really trying to do something, you feel like what you have to say is important, but then somebody else can come along who is white and get more opportunities than you, that can be hurtful. Or when you're trying to, advance yourself and you see somebody doing the exact same thing that you did last week, but they do it and they get all this attention, that is hurtful. And it's not just us that happens to. That happens all the time in every industry. It's a story as old as time. I just watched this documentary last night called Taking on Taylor Swift. Do y'all remember how she got sued about Shake It Off? Because they were saying that there are two lyrics in there that are similar to the 3LW song, Play Is Gonna Play. Do y'all remember that? So that's what the documentary is about. And so in there, they were talking about, all the appropriation that white musical artists have done, taking music and taking the style of Black people. And then they make all this money. And then people have no idea that it's the origin of that as a Black artist. If you haven't watched it and you have HBO Max, you should watch it. It's actually really a really good documentary. But Camesha had already set up this space when I watched that last night. And I was thinking about that as I was watching that documentary last night, because it's true. Because nobody knows, like who was talking about Big Brother in the beginning. And of course, everybody can talk about it. We encourage everybody to talk about it. Anybody that wants to do spaces, Camesha and I have always encouraged them to do it because what you have to say is important. Your perspective is going to be different than mine. Yeah, Camesha and I are both Black women, but our perspectives about things are different. Camesha is a lot older than me. I'm just teasing, Camesha. I'm being funny.
I was like, wait the fuck minute. I'm over here giving you all the fucking I was wrong. I said, get the. Oh my God.
No,
but she's fine though. But she's fine.
Right, very fine. And as Camesha would say, she will take your man. But no, like Camesha and I have different perspectives. Like Camesha was born and raised in the South. I was born and raised in the North, even though I was raised by Southern people. So like there are different perspectives that we have as Black women that we bring to the table when we talk about the show. Everybody has their own special thing to bring to whatever they want to talk about. Like Jill and Hash do spaces all the time. They have their perspective that they bring. So it's like if you want to open your mouth, open your mouth. We are encouraging everybody to open their mouth. But we're also just saying we've been here a long time. We work hard to, have interviews with people, talk to people, bring a different perspective. I talked to Jazz yesterday. That was a great conversation. If you haven't listened to that space, listen to that space. But in that space, Jazz said to me, he said, we've gotten a lot of feedback. People, that said that, JAG is a bad representation for a Sikh community. I said, Sikh people are saying that? And he said, no, the Sikh community, we've actually, got a lot of positive feedback. I said to Jazz, listen, let me tell you something. If somebody that was not Black said to me, you're a bad representation of the Black community, I'd say, fuck off. I was like, you don't need to worry about anything that somebody that is not Sikh is saying. Throw it away. Like, move on. So that's a conversation that I can have. Me as a person of color, I can say that to him. So it's like, that's what I'm talking about. Whatever unique perspective you have, bring it. say whatever you want to say, you know? So that's why this conversation is important to have because we're here for a reason. We're not just here like, because we don't have anything better to do. So I didn't talk for a million years, but that's what I wanted to say. Thank you for letting me speak, Kamisha.
Always. Well, I will say this. The reason why I have black women in the title is because myself and you and other black women who are content creators, I have seen I get their credits due. That's why that's in the title. I do agree with everything you said. Yes, as far as people of color, it doesn't matter those conversations that we can only have, like you just had with the jazz situation. But I would just specifically why I put that there is because we get shitted on and we don't get our credits due. And I'm gonna speak for that. I'm always gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody to think that I'm right for my rights. I stand up for is for everybody's rights. I'm speaking specifically about this because of how I've been feeling lately and the conversations I've been having with other content creators, such as Sheena. To me, I look up to her. She's a content creator here on Twitter. You know, I call her Twitter Queen, all the things. And you know what I'm saying? I always tell her she's gonna be my memoir because my Twitter blew up, you know what I'm saying, after we started doing the spaces and stuff. I tell her this all the time. And I mean that for real. Because my journey is so crazy being a black content creator. I have so many things. It's gonna be in the book one day. My podcast is doing very, very well. And I mean, they know I'm black, my picture, but initially, well, you know what? I'll go say that know I'm black. My name is Cameshiareviews. They gonna know I'm black. It doesn't matter. Fuck that. Just forget the first statement. They follow me because they like the shit. Period. Okay. I was gonna say they don't know if I'm black or not because the podcast you can't see anybody, but the name says Kamisha, so it doesn't matter. But the point that I'm trying to make is that I don't want anybody to be offended or put off because the title does say that. Just understand that we do not get that credit. We just don't get it. And so that's why I put it there. And I talked to Sheena behind the scenes about this just, was it today or yesterday? In depth about this. She knows what I've been through as far as being a blogger, and she's seen me do things, and she's seen other people do and take that I've done. And we'll talk behind the scenes about it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't come live and start calling everybody bitches and fuck you and all these things. I just, my younger days, it was like that. It gave it a lot. But as I've gotten older, I realized, old, because Sheena obviously thinks I'm old. Um, as I've gotten older, I realize it's not worth it. Now, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If something was to happen, I feel like I need to give it that I will, but I really pick and choose about having to drag or do all that crap. It's not worth it. My brand is growing, and I don't want that I don't want that attached to my name. Black women already people. I don't want to say they heard she's gonna go off, and I hate that because that's not going to be always the normal reaction. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if something bad is happening, they'll get black women to go cover it. If it's a tough conversation, be it a job or whatever it is, well, I don't want to talk to her, but you can handle that because black women, we always that person where we don't mind being blunt with somebody, and they'll put us in that position. We use for that. It's just so much, and so for me, it's just like we're soft too. We're all just a lot of levels to us. And so when I talk about these things, I talk about it where you guys can receive it as the most positive way I can. I just, it's like what L Cool J, we need love too. We do. And I just feel like sometimes we don't get no love. And what is wrong with that? That's it. If people get offended by it, I'm sorry to be honest, I don't give a damn. Just don't say my goddamn name. That's all I'm saying. Please. Don't start a war you cannot win or handle. That's all I'm saying. But I want to say thank you while you're here live with me because like I said, I pushed. I didn't really want to do this bird app in your voice. And I really feel like you encouraged me a lot. And what you say came to fruition. My Twitter like blew up because of it. They call me the queen of spaces. And just a lot of different things that I think is cute. You know what I'm saying? I love it. And like I said, I, the encouragement was good. I think black women encouraging each other. It is so powerful, and we prove that constantly. It's been years since we've had that first conversation, and we still, like I said about spaces, I don't care. I can talk to Sheena for a month. I can talk to her like we never stop talking. She'll send me a message, something going on. I need to know about. If she know I didn't see it. Did you see this girl? It doesn't matter. And that's why I love her so much. She's awesome. I will always support her. So, Sheena, I wanted you to hear that while you was here. Go ahead, Sheena.
Yeah. And I just want to say, I am so, because okay, everybody has their social medium that's their favorite one. Twitter is very obviously my favorite one. Twitter is not Cameshia's favorite. And I know that you've told me that, but I'm so glad that you've decided to do spaces anyway, because like I said, I love to hear your perspective on things. I love to hear, the way that you drag or the way you talk about somebody or when you go off or you do whatever. Because I'm a drag too. I'm going to go off too, but it's not going to be the way that you do it. And I want to hear what you do. And your perspective matters to people. And people want to hear what you have to say. And Cameshia and I have talked about this behind the scenes, and I think I have talked about this in a space before as well. But just in case y'all haven't heard it before, like there are people that DM me behind the scenes and say, I'm going through a really tough time, or like I just had a death in my family, and I listened to your space, and it made me laugh, and it helped me get through the day easier. So that's part of, the reason why I'm doing this too. And, I haven't done as many spaces lately because I recently had a death in my family. So that's why I haven't been doing as many spaces myself. But I also try to put content out there because I know it helps people. And, like sometimes I think you've shared this publicly before, but if not, stop me, Cameshia. Sometimes Cameshia, she'll get frustrated and she'll be like, girl, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'll say to her, you can't stop. And she'll say, well, why can't I? And I say, well, one, you have built up a resume of doing this for years. That's number one. Number two, if you stop, that's one less Black woman's voice that we have, and we already don't have enough. That's two. Three, there are people who are listening to what you have to say because they're having a hard day and they need to laugh. Or they want to hear you drag somebody so they can laugh. I cannot tell you, in the time that I've known Cameshia, my uncle has died. 2 years later, my grandfather died. In the time that I've known her, I cannot tell you how many times I've been having a bad day, and I will go on Cameshia's YouTube page and I'll say, let me find her dragging somebody because I need to laugh. I cannot tell you how many times I've done that. And so I said to her, the content has to be there because you're helping people. So even when you get frustrated, even when you get upset, take a break. That's fine. But you can never stop because your voice is important and your voice matters and people want to hear it. And the content is out there. Like they've changed the rules now, and now your spaces stay up for forever. So I've got spaces that are, like a year and a half old that are up that people can listen to. And sometimes I think about, not to be morbid, but sometimes I think about, if I died, there is so much content that I've made that is out there for people to have, for people to listen to. So I never got big and famous, but you know what? What I have to say is out there. People can listen to it. It may inspire somebody. It may help somebody. So if you have something to say, put it on the mic. Turn the recording on, put it on the mic so it can be there so people can hear your voice. And I just think it's, how people say, the voiceless. And it's not that somebody is voiceless, it's that people don't hear them. And I want people to be heard. So that's why it's so important to me to encourage people to say, what's on their heart or what they feel is not being talked about. So I just want to say I feel all the same ways about you, Cameshia, and I've never met anybody like you, and I know that I never will. And I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you came into that space that day, and I met you. You are, my much older sister that I. I'm teasing, girl. I'm just being funny. You are my sister that I love so much, and I'm just so glad that I met you. And I think we're a great duo. We're a great pair. You know how they talk about like all those duos on like sports podcasts and stuff like that? That's like you and me. We're a duo for like Big Brother Spaces podcasting or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we're a great duo. We're a great pair. And I'm just happy that I met you. I'm happy that you exist. You always check in on me and make sure that I'm okay. I check in on you, make sure that you're okay. And I just love you very much. And all of you that are in here that have been supporting us, it's been over 2 years now that y'all have been supporting us. And so I just want to say that I love y'all as well. Thank you for being here today. And something else that I've talked about, and then I talked to Kamisha, is about like, this is probably the first time in my life as a Black woman that I have felt so supported and so loved and so accepted for like me just being my complete outspoken self and saying whatever I want to say. And so the way that y'all have supported us and loved us and always been there, is very impactful. If y'all don't know, I'm telling you now, because a lot of times Black women do not publicly receive love and support like that. So for y'all to always show up, space after space, for over 2 years now, I think it's been, that is amazing. That is incredible. So I also want to give love and support to you as well. I see Isaiah is in here. Support the Silent podcast. I know my friends of mine do another podcast, who all gonna be there, support their podcast. There are a lot of Black creators out there that are talking about Big Brother, that are talking about Survivor, that are talking about the challenge, that you all should support and listen to and hear their perspective. Because like I said, there's more now than there were 2 years ago, but it'll never be enough. So if you want to start, a podcast or start doing spaces talking about these shows, I encourage you to do that as well.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Because we can always have more. So that's it.
Yeah, I want to say that too. To those who've been following me, I follow a few guys that's in the chat. There's some podcasts that are here. Leticia, it's my first time seeing you. I just followed you. I love seeing new podcasts, especially when I follow you. If you guys are on like Apple or Spotify, I follow you guys as well, and I'm also on that forum. Also, I have lots of podcasts that's doing really, really well. I'm so proud of that. And yes, Isaiah, people who are in here that have their own podcasts have followed us. I love that as well. And Black women do not get the out in the front. I support you. I love her, and that's unfortunate. I've talked about these things 100 times till I don't know what, and I'm trying to change that. I see other people changing it. I don't want to say that it's like I said before recently that I don't live here. It's not just negative. I do think that there is a positive that's coming. I see some changes slow, but I see support for people of color who are doing podcasts. And as you stated, she all people of color. I'm seeing a lot of different races coming to a podcast. Because I'm on podcasts all the time. I'm always on Apple checking my numbers. So it's a lot of podcasts coming up from the community as well. I follow a few podcasts in the community that be grabbing heavy on the floor laughing. Just with the journey into the stories, because I love just hearing people's story time. I do that a lot myself. Just talk about a story time, something crazy that happened that you can laugh at now. Maybe at the time it was not a fucking funny matter. Those are my favorite ones. And so I just obviously the world is changing and it's still slow, but I think these open conversations that we do have make progress. I'll see clips or hear something Sheena said maybe her page or whatever, like, or people in the chat in the comments will be saying something like, "Oh, I was in Sheena's page." Da, da, da. I love the dialogue. I love the engagement because I know that they go heavy to her spaces, and I love that because she's a Black woman who I think deserves it. Because, like she said, she started spaces like nobody really was there, but she's doing so well now. She's not tell behind the scenes. I want her to do more, but that's another topic. But she's doing very, very well, and I'm proud of her. And I love the way y'all support us and support her. I saw that coming on Twitter. It's no reason why I wanted to do it because I saw how they were supporting her heavy as far as the comments, the shares, and all that. And I want to be a part of this world. I know Black Twitter is here as well. They also are very supportive. They support us. They're being a chat heavy whether we know them or not or follow them or not. I see Black Twitter and I also love that also. I just think it's a new year coming with spaces and how many more content creators are doing spaces. It just needs to be I hate to use the word unity, but you know, my old thing I always say that at this table we all can eat, we all can get full. You don't have to hide your food because you think I'm gonna eat some of yours. You know what I'm saying? We all can eat from the same. It's all good, and that's something that I don't really see. People are still worried about if another person is going to get bigger than them. And I know she was being real nice, but I'm gonna say this again. Pioneers, respect them. Because last year, and we can both say this, some of you guys who are doing it weren't doing it before or were struggling. You're doing great now. So just respect the pioneers. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say it like it is. Go ahead, Sheena.
I put my hand up by accident. I was trying to take it down. I don't have nothing to say. But no, I agree. Just, a lot there are a lot of Black people that have started things and people don't know that it was from them. So, like Kamisha said, it's all, listen, 9.9 times out of 10, it's going to be a Black woman that started some shit. I'm just letting you know. You go back to the origin of most things, is a Black woman. So, yes, respect, the pioneers, like she said.
That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because if you knew how we were last season, when people were coming up, we were talking about them going to their spaces, and even I don't think me and her even knew people were following them, starting their spaces because we were coming to space. Cameshiareviews Sheena's here. I mean, she'd be like, and I'm being real. Could we be texting each other like, girl, what? Like me and her in the beginning was oblivious. And it's a cool thing because it was organic. It wasn't like big headed. We literally were humbled about it. It was very organic. We would come in space and people, her separate, me separate, same thing. And we loved it. And we just was like, well, damn. So then we really started supporting, other content creators who were attempting to do it. Not many people were doing it last year, but we would share their tweet. I would see it on her page. I would go, oh, let me share, let me see, let me go listen to it. Because she shares stuff on her page all the time. That's how I would find and follow other content creators on Twitter. And so to me, the share, the follow, the mention, and like I said earlier, but Sheena wasn't here. If Sheena does something on her page and I tweet it, I make sure her name is in it, or I'll say my queen, or I might say Sheena or something.
Oh yeah,
so you
yeah.
got
Get into that, girl.
so
Get into that.
that you guys know that where I got it from was from her page. I do that all the time, including on YouTube. If I use an idea or change it to my own, anything, I'm going to give that person that shout out because that is just, it's respect. It's not like I'm gonna take the post that you did on Instagram, cut your name off the top, cut the date on the bottom, crop it where it's just that, and then your supporters think, oh, that was her quote. Period. Sheena, you go.
Did you talk about what happened recently? Or you're not going to talk about that?
You can go ahead. I was kind of, I'll wait for you to go there. I said a little bit, but not too much.
Okay, so let's just be very clear. Say it on wax, like how they used to say back in the day. Don't do that. If somebody else says something and you see it, you want to joke about it as well or do whatever, make sure you give that person credit. Just like Kamisha said, their name is in it or retweet it originally for them or whatever. Because Kamisha made a joke very recently talking about Bowie Jane. And so you got to be even a certain age to even make this joke because the joke is from a show called In Living Color that was on in the 90s. Okay, so she was making a joke saying that Miranda Ball, aka Bowie Jane, that she looks like this character called it's called like Alexis DeMilo or something like that, that Jim Carrey used to play on In Living Color. So Kamisha makes that joke, right? And so somebody put the picture of the character in the chat. So I quote tweeted the picture and I said, Kamisha, I added Kamisha and I said, Cameshiareviews said, this is Bowie Jane. And we were all laughing. Hour and a half later, we see somebody tweet that same thing, saying like, oh, this is Bowie Jane. Kamisha said that an hour and a half ago. Now, is it possible that that other person had the exact same idea? Yeah. Do I think that that's what happened? No. I'm just going to be honest because that person is a lot younger. And so it's kind of hard for me to believe that out of their head they would know that reference. Now, like I'm saying, maybe they did, but I don't think so. So don't steal people's jokes, people's tweets, people's whatever, and not give them credit for it. Don't do that. Not only just don't do it to Black women, don't do it to anybody. Like, don't steal anybody's clever joke, clever comment, and act that it was you, and act like it was yours because it wasn't. It's not. And like something else that I just remembered that I wanted to say. Do y'all remember last year CBS tried to get cute and they did some spaces that they had some Big Brother alumni in? I think they did two. They did one that was like the winner's circle that Rachel was on, Taylor was on, and a couple other people were on. And then they did another one. And I said, Camesha, I was like, these people are literal thieves. Because how are they coming out? They want to do spaces now? Give me a break. And I'm telling you, I don't know if y'all went to those spaces, but Camesha and I went, it was a hot mess. They didn't know what they were doing. We were sitting there in silence for 10 minutes before anybody talked. It was a hot mess. And people were literally DMing us like, y'all need to be the ones running this space because this is a mess. But yeah, even CBS stole from us. But anyway, because we know they got burners that come to our spaces. That's what I believe anyway. But so yeah, I just wanted to say even CBS stole from us. But go ahead, Camesha.
My thing is this. I don't even care that people retweet my stuff and take it and do whatever. I think it's how you say it. I always tell my mentees, yeah, I know I have a mentorship program. I always say, it's advertisement, it's just whatever. But I always tell my mentees, and I always tell them this in a respectful way, always give credit to anybody that, you may utilize something from, whether it be, I don't care if it's a border. I've always told them that. Not everybody's thought I wrote on YouTube. I'm telling you, people take from each other. And I think in a way, it's the part of the game, to be fair. I've retweeted stuff all the time, but I kind of always make sure I even put in the comments, I stole this from you. It's a joke that I have with the content creator. I'm letting that person know I'm going to use this on my page. I'm letting you know I'm going to use it because it's like on Instagram, you can't really say like necessarily a name. Now, sometimes you can with that reshare crap, whatever, but I'm going to go through all that. So I might say, shout out to such and such. I stole it off their page. And it's a joke, but it's not a joke if you get what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. To me, it's not a big deal. It's not. I just think that sometimes people need to just respect what people take their time for. When we did that at the time in the live, it was a hilarious situation because it was an organic thing. I am organically funny and goofy. So sometimes things will happen in my space. Sometimes things will happen in my YouTube channel. Some things they'll act real funny. It will be an organic, funny thing. And because I'm a certain age, I might make a joke, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, girl!" You like even when Sheena was saying, "You remember that with the whole thing with Jim Carrey?" Because I am old, it is what it is. But because of that, some people may not get it, and they see him like, "Girl, that was funny. I'm gonna use that." All I'm saying is it's a respect thing. That's it. I don't think it's nothing. It's not a big deal. Nobody never gets mad about it unless it's like their full content. Some people will take your full content, and that's when you take legal actions for that. Because all my content is original. Everything I do is original. But I'm saying on YouTube, it could get to legal stuff. So to me, it's not worth it. That's why I say if you do some cutesy stuff, give a shout out or say you did something because people will take it to another level. I've seen it happen too many times. People lose all their content for doing something like that. So that was just a quick little lesson. I talk about being a brand. I talk about being a content creator and coming up because I've done it and fallen on my face. That I know what not to do. So that's why I actually mentor people. As far as being a content creator because I fell on my face and there was nobody there that said, "Girl, don't do that." So I am that one. So I try to help and uplift other people. Just like that's why I feel so close to Sheena, I think, because she's the same way. I see her mentor people all the time. She doesn't call it that, like I call it. I actually call it that, but I do see her in that mentor role, And so I hope nobody doesn't take what we're saying offensively or anything, because what we are saying is just stuff that we feel, and I hope nobody doesn't take it offensively or be like try to do some shade or anything funny. Because like I said, y'all know with me, baby, I eat smoke for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I'm not doing it. Don't get it twisted. I don't want to. It's a choice I make. But if I have to get into the arena, baby, don't. It's gonna be a 1, 2, 3 knockout. I'm gonna be the winner. Period. So I'd rather not even do all that. So I'm just saying this to me was us speaking our feelings in a respectful way. I don't think anybody will disrespect it in no kind of way. I support everybody on this app unless you block me or call me a B or a black bitch at that or some shit. Ain't nothing happen. So if you're not blocked, there's open opportunity conversation. I'm gonna tell you something. Even if you're my so-called enemy or somebody that I don't rock with, I will have a conversation with you. I've told people that didn't like me or try to drag me. I'll talk to you on live. Make a live. I bet I'll come to it and we'll have a full conversation. As long as we're being respectful to each other, I can talk. I can talk to somebody who doesn't like me and I don't like them. Because sometimes if you actually have those conversations, you never know. The reason could be trivial, bad communication, or a misunderstanding something that wasn't true. Who knows? And I've seen it happen in my 47 years. Or you call me old lady. 47 years I have seen this happen. So I do believe that conversation can happen with anybody, and I would do that with anyone. And I ain't saying I got a bunch of enemies. I don't. I probably can say on my hand on the internet people that I just would not rock with. You can't say their name on my channel. 5 people, and that's it. Everybody else is always an opportunity for a conversation. That's the way I look at it. Okay. I don't know. I enjoyed talking to everybody today. Listen, well, y'all were listening mostly, and I enjoyed telling this origin story. And again, I say this because I want everybody who hears or goes back and tells somebody or tell pieces and stuff that it's recorded. When I say I can always have a conversation, if there's anything here that you disputed about or you do not like, but make sure that when you do come at me, understand that I've been recording myself and have receipts from me being on Twitter since the beginning. So mind that when you come at me crazy. Sheena, you got anything you want to add before I shut this down, mama?
Did you talk about the exit interview thing before I came?
No, go ahead. I did not.
Do you want to talk about that?
Let's go ahead. Let's do that.
All right. Listen, I want to preface before I say this. Please, y'all, do not. I don't want y'all to interpret this as like me trying to be shady or throw shade at anyone or whatever. I'm not. I'm just trying to use this as an example of what Camesha is talking about when she's talking about the difficulty of being a Black woman wanting to talk about these shows and do an interview people that have been on the show and things like that. So, okay. So if I just talked to y'all about being Black women, being on here, doing the spaces so that we can talk about, misogynoir, colorism, etc., blah, blah, blah. But we want to expand that. We want there to be more opportunities for Black women in other places. So one of the things that we started talking about is we didn't feel like there were enough Black women doing exit interviews when the people come off the show, right? So that was one of the things that Camesha was working on that she wanted to do. So she emailed whoever she's supposed to email, start doing it, doing whatever, right? Doesn't end up coming to fruition. So we're doing spaces, we're talking about the show, and then all of a sudden, this podcast came up and in one of Camesha's spaces and started talking about that they were doing exit interviews. And Camesha and I are like, wait, hold on. Who are these people? No shade to them, but who are they? They're not people that, we had heard of before. If you go and you look at Camesha's YouTube, you look at their YouTube, she's got more subscribers than them. She's been talking about Big Brother longer than them. So it's kind of like, how were they able to get this opportunity and she wasn't? And so when we're talking about other people get opportunities who don't have the same resume that you do, and they just kind of seem like they come out of nowhere and they get the opportunity, but she's been talking about Big Brother for years and she does it. That's the kind of concrete example that we're talking about. So she's not just saying this for no reason. There are examples of things that happened that are behind why she's talking about Black women bloggers not getting credit or not getting opportunities that somebody will get that just started talking about Big Brother yesterday. So that's an example. So when things like that happen, you got to start saying, okay, well, what's going on here? So I wanted to bring that up as well.
Hold on, Mama. Give me about 2 minutes. Hold on. Keep going. Keep going.
Hi, No Ma'am Pam. I just saw that you are in the space. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say other than that. Let me try to stall for 2 minutes. But like, oh no, No Ma'am Pam will talk. Perfect.
Let me come up here and help you, Betty. Hey, girl.
Yeah, help me. Help
I
me.
just want to give
Help me,
props to
girl.
you, Betty. Props to Camesha. Every time I do a big space, I always try to like shout out to y'all because y'all been the OGs. Y'all and G. G was the first one I actually listened to, but once I get educated about like you and Camesha, y'all always been doing your big ones. So I just started last year, so that's why I always try to like pay like my respects and dues to the people that I've like listened to before I did it. And
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Thank
back.
you. Oh, wait. Thank you. And I really appreciate that. And I will give that to you. I will give that to you. You do always show respect, show props. The entire time that I've known you, interacted with you, you've always been respectful to me. So I will always give you that.
yes, yes, yes.
100%, 100%. That's what. See, and the thing about it, No Man Pam is one of the ones when I said G that we talked about that. When I say my kids, the babies, No Man Pam was in one of those categories because they came up. We will always talk about them. I still share the tweet. I'm sorry, the spaces, whatever. Those are the kids because those are the ones who came up after, and they're people of color, and they're doing their big ones. So yeah, we do appreciate that 100%.
But I did want
But
to publicly both apologize to both of you. I never really addressed this, but last year, the spaces were kind of wild. And I know, even though we've always been respectful to each other, there was a few moments where it got kind of dicey because of a few spaces. I know this had nothing to do with y'all, but like y'all, it was during y'all spaces. So I just wanted to say I love y'all, and I'm so sorry that that even transpired because I do regret that.
I
wow,
appreciate that. Thank you very much.
yes.
I
And,
know,
And
I know I
oh, go
DM'd
we
ahead.
you,
didn't
but
blame
no,
you.
I know I
Go
DM'd
ahead,
you
go.
guys about it like last season, but like I just want to say it
Mhm.
publicly because I never really talked about it publicly.
I appreciate that. And I'm just going to say, I've noticed, that you will say have different associations now, but that's why I was saying to you, you have always been very respectful, and that doesn't go unnoticed. And so I just wanted you to know, I know who was saying what and who wasn't. I'll leave it at that.
Same here.
Well, I definitely was saying stuff too. I'm not gonna say I was completely innocent,
You
but
were.
I just want to say I
Oh,
just wanted to
okay, girl.
apologize.
Okay, girl.
No, I told you, you know what I was saying. Like it was, but it was all jokes and it was all love. It wasn't anything like, for at least from my part, anything that I said wasn't crossing the line. I think for Camesha, I was just saying like, get her merch, y'all. And then for you, Betty, it was the baby bop or whatever. I don't remember what I was saying, but it was all Kiki's.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about. Man, let me tell you something. Now, No Man Pam, you know what? I went,
Let's
what I do?
drag her. Let's
Hold
drag
on,
her.
wait a minute. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
please,
No Man
Draggy, get your
Pam.
lick back. Get
No,
your lick back.
I dragged you 3, 4 times, but you heard all of it. But anyway,
So yeah,
you
Kamisha, you can't. That's when I was like, okay, let me take a few steps back because Kamisha, I didn't know like y'all both dragged me, so I was like, you know what, I deserve
Drag.
this.
Drag.
but No Man Pam, you know it's all in fun. Just like when you posted the picture of Jim Carrey. What did I say on your post? Y'all got that from me. Period. So we're doing a public conversation. But you know,
Sure.
I did
I
it.
have something to say.
Okay, go ahead, Sheila. Lord, go ahead, Mama.
Sorry. I do got something to say now that No Man Pam is here. No Man Pam, let me tell you something, girl. There is somebody that was in your space, okay? The last one that you did with Jared, doing the most, okay?
Who?
Going,
Or you
going
can DM me
among.
if you don't want to say the name.
Yeah, I'm gonna DM you privately the name. I'm not gonna say the name publicly, but doing the most, going up in there talking about, oh my God, Jared, I just, love you so much, and I've been out in the streets supporting you, and I have been blocked by people, and I just have lost people that I consider to be, my real Twitter friends because, bitch, shut the fuck up. Okay. No, see, now No Man Pam is here, so now we're gonna be messy a little bit. Shut the fuck
Wake
up,
it
bitch.
up!
Shut the fuck up. Because that's the second time it was in your space, and she did it in the Reality Kingdom space. That she has alluded to me blocking her because she supported Jared. First of all, I didn't block her. I soft blocked her, and then she blocked me. But this is the second time she's been in large spaces trying to say that I blocked her and she lost a Twitter friend because she supports Jared. No, you didn't lose a Twitter friend because you support Jared. You lost a Twitter friend because you had nothing to say about what he was doing to a black woman, and I don't appreciate that. That's why you lost a fucking Twitter friend. But I'm addressing it because you were here, because I said to myself, the amount of dick writing that she was doing in your space. You talked about me first one time. I let it go. You doing it the second time? Now I'm fucking addressing it. So you know exactly who I'm talking about, and I'm sick of her going in spaces, fucking alluding to me in front of like hundreds of people. So since you're here, I'm saying something.
Oh wow.
Oh damn! I waited for that one. I was like, oh shit, she coming.
Yeah, I didn't even know y'all. This is how detached I've been from the drama this season. I keep the drama towards the house guests because I don't even know what's going on about any of that. I don't even know there was any issues. But this season, I've definitely tried to make a note of just like if I'm gonna have any like issues, it's gonna be with like the like because the house guests are public figures. You know what I'm saying? We just talk about them. So I feel as though it's our right to be able to like have criticism and like critique stuff we like and we don't like. I would expect the same if any of us were on the show. But as far as like getting into it with like fellow Twitter people, commentators, bloggers, this season I was like, I'm not partaking in any of that. So I love everybody, and there's room for everybody to eat.
Period. That play big. We all can get full. Stop being greedy at that shit, okay? I don't want your piece of chicken. I got my own chicken, okay? I hate
Kamisha,
saying chicken. My
we already
bad.
know how you get down because the last place you were like, baby, my food's ready. Goodbye.
Wait a minute. Okay, so Sheena. So I went to No Man Pants space, and it was a cool space. And once again, I always say when I come in, somebody gotta always try me. And so I was in No Man Pants. It was so cool. Then all of a sudden, somebody was like, I said, well, I hope she. I think Saree doesn't get sent home. And somebody pops said, well, if she gets sent home, what you gonna do? Okay, Sheena, you know me. I dragged the fuck out of him. I was like, who? What the fuck? I said, be the queen that I am every fucking day. What you gonna do? And No Man Pam goes, wake it up. I said, and then as soon as that happened, somebody was like, who is she talking to? I said, they called my number. My food, I was hungry as hell. I'm so sorry. I was like, God damn. But I was like, oh well. Man,
But
Pam,
wait.
y'all
Also,
know how I roll.
Kamisha, I love you. You're funny. You're so funny. But I also wanted to say, Betty, to your point about like dick riding and people and stuff like that. Like, I kind of got. It's crazy because like the first space we did with Jared, they said that we were like dick riding all of us, like a umbrella, like in general, we were all dick riding him, and we switched up. But then the second one we did, it was like we were attacking him, and we wouldn't like because like as soon as Jared said the thing about America, like kind of praising her and stuff, like everyone switched like, oh, we like Jared now, and the hosts are attacking Jared, this is not fair. So it's like it's almost like you can't win either way. It's like if you ask like hard-hitting questions, it's we're attacking him. If we try to be more polite with our questions, it's we're dick riding. The thing about it is for these spaces, we've had so many different house guests. I don't care who it is. It could be Kyle himself. Like, I'm not gonna curse him out on a space. Like, I will ask hard hitting questions and like address the stuff I want to address, but I'm not going to be rude about it because at the end of the day, they don't have to come to our spaces. So it could be Jag, it could be who else who I'm having like discourse with right now. Anyone from this season, I'm going to be respectful. I'm not going to disrespect anyone. So I just want to let that be known. I'm sure you guys wouldn't either.
No, you keep doing that because
Absolutely not.
as doing I do interviews and even she knows I've done interview people I didn't like. I had just gotten to it with Big D. We had an interview the next day. It came out perfect. You wouldn't even know I was pissed. So keep doing that. No matter regardless what anybody says, people are gonna say something matter what you do. I've gotten an interview where they'll say, "Oh, you just fucking doing that, Kamisha, because you like them or you interviewed them," or they'll say, "Kamisha, your question wasn't hard enough." People don't know. I get that still every interview I've done. So no matter what you do, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, Sheila.
Right.
You gonna say, baby? I'm sorry,
Oh,
Sheila.
no. So first of all, no, man, Pam, I just want to be clear. I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about that one person, Dick Riding. But I told you this before. Anytime you do a huge, big space like that, people are going to criticize you because people are haters. That's just how they are. Last year, when I did that space with Tiffany, where she was talking about addressing redacted and everything, I was literally co-hosting with her, and people were in the space saying, "Oh, the co-host is attacking Tiffany. She's so arrogant." I was like, "The fuck? You don't know that I literally had a whole hour-long conversation with her on the phone before this, and I told her everything I was going to ask her and everything that I was going to say. She literally knows what she's going to be asked. People always talk shit when you do something big. That's how people are. But going back to your first space, now, Camesha, you were there. I was there. The first space that Pam did with Jared. There was one person who came up and complimented Jared and was all over him. One. Everybody else that got on the mic said, "I dragged you." And this is my question. The space ends. Somebody else hosts a space literally talking about, first of all, they stole No Man Pam's thing because the title was "Let's Wake It the Fuck Up." Then they're in there talking about everybody's a hypocrite because y'all were on the timeline dragging Jared. Then you went in the space and smiled in his face. No, we were being respectful. I told him dead to his face. I said, "I dragged you and I hosted a whole fucking space dragging you for an hour." That conversation that you had with Izzy about one night stands, I literally said that. What are you talking about? So people are always going to hate because that's what people do, especially when you do a space that gets as big as the two that you did. So that's just how people are.
Yeah. So there's no way to win either way. That's why I'm like, I'm just going to keep doing what I do and just play it like that because I feel like I feel like our emotions were so high just because we all had our affinity for Taylor and how she was treated in the house. And sometimes like watching the Big Brother's like any it's unlike any other reality show where we like almost like we grow attached to these people because we watch them every day. Like there's no other show like Big Brother. So it's almost as like when someone does something to your fave, it's like a personal attack. So that's why I kind of got emotional last season when like Turner came on my space or like anyone else came on my space where I was just like, you messing with my girl. So I feel as though like last year it was like, ugh. I don't know if you guys remember, but like when we had those people in the space, it was like I just had to like get it out. But like this year, I'm like, okay, girl, I'm not gonna like unless they're disrespectful. Then it's like that's on. Then we can have like a little discourse back and forth because of like with
You're
the two.
growing, baby. You're growing. You're just growing on
Yeah,
that Pam.
it's
You're growing.
growth.
No, you're growing. See, in the beginning, of my first year, you see my first years, my interviews, my whole year, I went out the whole fucking year on everybody. As you get into this game to be real, and as you get older, you're just growing, baby. That's it. You're becoming more professional. I can tell your brand is growing, and as your audience grows with you, they'll know your beginnings, and that's gonna be your loyal fans, the ones who've been there since the very first page you did. So I love it. You're just growing as a content creator. That's it. And it's
But
gonna be.
also though too, Commission, this is a troll page. It started out as a troll page, a
I know
video
it
with
did.
so
I
like
know it
I
did.
work I work as a marketing, like I have a marketing degree and everything. I work like people have noticed my voice. I interview people for a living on TV. Like I've done this for years, but it's like this page wasn't meant to be like that professional part of me. It was meant to like just troll and like talk about shows and stuff like that. So that's why like I can get very professional if I need to, but for this No Man Pam, like it's just like it's not. It's giving Kiki's. It's giving like like you know what I'm saying. Like it's just a different side of me that I can do that at work. I don't want to do that here.
But no man, Pam is giving that. But this year is giving the professionals coming through. Because see, you can only just like on Big Brother, you can only have that facade for so long, baby. We know that the cameras will be on. You get comfortable. You're comfortable now, sweetie. So your professional side is probably the real. Yeah, that side of you. That side of you is there. You're gonna find that balance where it's just both. Where yes, I can keep even on my Pam, but I know they're gonna have a serious conversation. Maybe it's not gonna come on there for an interview or whatever. You're just gonna give that. You just growing and you're finding yourself. When you find your brand is that what you want to be, it'll give it. So you're just kind of finding yourself. That's it. It's fun time. Trust me.
Thank
My
you,
first
boo.
year.
I learned from the best. Look at you, girl. Look at y'all, queens.
Period. Oh my God, I love this conversation. This is what I'm talking about right here. Content creators. I'm not that old, Sheena, but old and young coming together and talking, and
No, I'm teasing, girl. I'm old, girl. They call me decrepit and old all on this shit. They be
girl,
saying
fuck
I'm
them people.
senile, girl.
I say all the time, I will take your motherfucking man. Shut the fuck up, okay? Don't get twisted. Old as fuck and still will take your goddamn man. Okay?
Well, I be feeling old because most of these, I didn't realize how young these, like, a lot of them are like 16, 17. I'm like, what the hell?
Ew, babies. No, no, no. I don't do that. Damn, 20 to me is a
18,
baby.
19, 20. Like, a lot of these fans are really young. So that's why, especially in the spaces. So that's why we old.
But see, they don't really know about the past stuff. Like when I talk about the old Big Brother, they don't get it. They just know the new stuff, and they don't. Even live feeds are getting old to a lot of the newbies. What they don't understand is that the live feeds are also getting old to the newbies. But for the old G's like us, we like live feeds. We grew up and Big Brother that way. But the newbies, they rather just watch the show on third. If they want it quicker. So I get scared. They got rid of live feeds in the other part of the country. So I don't know. I'm wondering if they're gonna get rid of USA's. What do you think, Sheena? No man paying. What y'all think?
No, because people pay for that. They make too much money from that. They're not going to get rid of it.
Yeah, I think that's the huge difference between the feeds here and the feeds in other countries like Canada and stuff, is that they make so much money. So that's why I'm feeling like if anything, they might like cut the feeds more, but you're right though, Kamisha, it is definitely a different generation because I'm not okay, like I'm close. I'm close to 30s, like I'm really old. But
Oh,
I
please,
remember
girl. Shut up.
Please, you a
I'll be
baby.
41 next month. Shut
I
up.
remember back in the days where like you would get like cigarettes burning, drinks thrown in your face. Like it's just become a whole overly woke, sensitive type of situation that we're dealing with now. Whereas I feel as though like the new generation of fans, which I kind of think is Frankie Grande's fault because I don't know if you guys realize this, when Frankie joined Big Brother, a whole different segment of fandom came in, like the stands, the Twitter stands, and like the people from Ariana Grande, and then like a whole new group of younger people started watching Big Brother, and it's like it's
Yep.
gotten overly. I don't know if you guys noticed that it was like a switch, like a
No,
shift
I
happened.
did. I did a lot of It changed. It changed a lot.
Yes,
You're
yes,
one hundred
yes,
percent right.
yes. And now it's like gotten to the point where like everything is so overly sensitive. So it's just I don't know. It's like I like my reality TV a little bit ratchet, not too ratchet, but like the old school Big Brothers definitely has my heart.
It has my heart, but baby, they were doing stuff that I'd be in the street about you busting your face. It was just a little bit. Look, my thing is in a competition. Again, I'll say this: if I ever get on Big Brother, which I hope to God they do a blogger version one year, I'm gonna train for a year before I go. But either way, go. If I ever get on there, I'm gonna give it my everything. I'm gonna give it my fucking everything. Fuck the 40-something-year-old, all that bullshit. I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna be a ruthless bitch. Y'all gonna drag me every day. I'm probably gonna say fuck you to the camera. Fuck y'all. I ain't talking to y'all. I'm in my room. If I'm HOH, don't talk to me. The liquor and wine is all mine. Yes, I'm a bitch. Every day it will be that conversation. I will be evil dick, but the black woman version. That's my plan. I already have my plan set up. I'm not going in there being cookie cutter and being somebody. I'm not doing that shit, and I ain't cooking or cleaning a motherfucking thing. Baby, fry your own ass and clean up your own shit. Baby, I will give y'all a show. Just wait. Let them do a blogger version of this fucking Big Brother. I will tear that motherfucker down.
You should audition.
I've tried. I mean, I always every year I do send a tape in. I always do every year. I just wait for Dave to do a blogger version. But all they're gonna do is get Rob as a podcast and his crew and nobody else. Hell, who a black person or blogger they gonna put on there? I'm sorry, I'm being real. They'll get Rob as a podcast people and nobody else that we know.
Yeah, it'll be Tehran. It'll be maybe they'll throw Mel in there. I feel like he's kind of like did Mel? I feel like Mel auditioned. He got kind of close. I forgot.
I think so. I think so.
I love
But
Mel. That's my girl.
I just would like to see. I would love to see a blogger. Could we talk about it? It's almost like y'all talk a lot of shit about it. So now put up or shut up. And I do believe we we will give them a fucking show.
Oh, if they
She
did like
know-
a Spaces, Big Brother, baby, me, Betty, Kamisha, G, baby girl, like all the Spaces girls. Y'all want to talk about a show?
We're
Oh my
playing
God.
Big Brother together. Nobody would. People would have to quit their jobs because they wouldn't
They
be able
would.
to sleep if we were
They would.
playing Big Brother together. Oh my God,
Oh my
that would
God.
be fucking insane. We would be running that entire fucking house. It'd be like, okay, you be on this side, you be on this side, I'll be on this side, you be on this side. We have our meetings where we report back at night, and then we make the plan for the next day at night.
Hold on.
Well,
No
let's
man
just
pan,
go-
go get the tea. No man pan, go get the tea. And come back and tell us everything that's happening. Who's saying the fuck what? 'Cause you know
I
everybody
got
gonna
you,
love No
girl.
Man
Just don't
Pam.
go to
They
sleep
gonna love
early.
him.
Do
I
not go
know.
to sleep
I'm
early.
not gonna go to sleep early. I
Ain't no
stay up late.
alcohol. I'm be up. Ain't
I'm
no
gonna be up.
please. No alcohol. I'm up. The fuck? No alcohol.
That's the one thing I hated about Serena and Felicia. It'd be 10 o'clock to bed. Girl, all the good shit happened at night.
Exactly.
It do. It do. And the thing about it, you can sleep. Hell, it be 12 o'clock. Man, I'll be up till 2 o'clock every day. Who up? Who? I'll be the last person to bed just to catch the conversation. You know, the best conversation and the showmances happen after 12. Please, they miss everything. I'm going to bed. I just like Felicia. Can y'all stay up, please? I don't know. I'll be up. Ain't no alcohol. Ain't no other stuff that I do. I'll be wide the fuck awake. That's all I'm saying. Period.
No
Oh
man
God.
Pam would be like, I'm bored. Let's start a fight.
She
Please. I really would. Because I
Oh
like
my
to start
God.
drama just for the hell of it. Like, if y'all ever listen to my spaces, bitch,
Chaos.
I'll take the opposite opinion just for, like, because it's boring with everyone. Oh,
He sure, and just so y'all know, he does that in Real Housewives spaces too. It's not just Big Brother. He'll come to the Real Housewives space talking about this is boring. We all agree. So I'm just gonna say something to wake it up, girl.
I would
Wow.
definitely, if I was on the show, I would definitely be that girl just to start chaos, just to, like, you know. But I
You
would
should
never
do challenge too. I don't know why
But I
you
would
don't do
never
challenge
do Big
spaces.
Brother. It's because like Big Brother's one of those shows where like you literally get canceled. Like I could just imagine shit from my past. Like just too much. It's just too much. Like
Wait, shit from your past? What you
not
done,
shit from my
girl?
past. I'm saying like they could dig up old my. I don't know. I don't have it
Oh,
from my
old
past. I'm
tweets?
saying like.
Cleared your Twitter by now?
Whoa. I'm talking
clear
about
your
my
Twitter.
real stuff. Or I'm just saying like
Oh.
I just don't. I think because I work in the industry, I just feel as though like it could be a little messy for me to like be on a reality show like that.
Somebody would try to find something. They would try. I think you'd be a fine. You probably would drag the hell out of them. I don't know why you worry about that on that. Whoever would try it would get their ass feelings for sure hurt and hand it to them in their hand. Please.
All of my grinder old messages, girl.
Okay. Who don't have grinder? Wait, who don't have grinder messages? Man,
Every
please.
day house guest that is on the show, their news get leaked within the day on Grinder.
Oh my!
Damn.
Are you serious?
That's messed up. That's
Y'all
messed
don't
up.
remember that? Who was the short dude who was on Big Brother with Bailey and them?
Oh, the one that said the N word.
Yeah, the one who said the N word because Bailey said allegedly the M word is a bad word. I guess I found
It
that
was
out.
a hot mess. I know you're talking about that. You know what? I found out.
News got leaked on Grindr.
Yes, he was fucking a whole doll.
What?
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what I'm saying. You do these shows, anything you've ever done will come to light.
Hi, Bree.
Wait a minute, y'all. Frankie Grande is supposed to be on the winter season of BB. Spoiler Girl said that. Like we could trust anything that
Don't
Spoiler
trust
Girl
anything
said.
that bitch say. All of her predictions have been wrong this year.
Wow. And yes. GC. JC. Isaiah says JC. That's who it was. That you talking about, no man, Pam? The
And
Minion
just so
fan.
y'all know, I do have the funniest thing is like I do have a source that works on production, and I actually said this on my space that it was he told me All Stars. If y'all listen to my space, I said it like before the article even came out that it was supposed to be a winner All Stars, but I guess he told me different than what it actually is. But it's like a mixture of like returning and like some like reality TV stars.
Oh,
Yeah, when
really?
is it supposed to premiere?
Like around February.
Damn.
So
Oh,
soon.
do you think people are going to be interested in watching BB in February?
Well, they did that for All Stars, or what is it? For Celebrity, sorry, Celebrity.
Yeah, but
That,
people,
that, that,
I
that-
think there's not as much interest in Celebrity Big Brother as regular Big Brother.
Well,
No,
not.
the
I mean,
no, but they're missing Big Brother, and so they utilize the celebrity and the other Big Brother stuff that in between. So I'm inclined to agree. They're going to jump on that. From what the description of what that Pam is saying, you said reality TV stars. So you mean for other networks
like
or
he was saying, like pretty much like people that have done like other TV shows, like The Challenge, RuPaul's Drag Race,
That'll be
Survivor.
wait
that'll
a
be fun
minute? Oh
though.
my
That'll be
God!
fun though. But is it gonna be a shorter season?
Yeah, it's gonna be like
Mm.
I think 3 to 4 weeks.
That's better. Yeah, so that'll be interesting.
They should end the 100-day seasons because like
Oh, one thousand
it's too
percent.
much.
It's too long. Way
It's
too
Way
long.
way
too
too
long.
long and it
Way
drags
too long.
out.
Wow. So that's gonna be intriguing. They probably had giant bananas on there. I really want to see Bailey come back to reality TV, but she's gonna have her baby. I just don't think she has no interest in it. But I would love to see Bailey come back to reality TV. She's one of my favorites. All of the programs. Oh, I would love for her to come back, but she's probably not. She said she was done. I just really want to see her win. Swaggy can stay. I just think that her. No. It's it's not off how it came out. But I'm saying, oh
But it's
my
true
god.
though. It's true though. Swaggy can stay. Next.
That
I
man making
just
enough money. He don't need to come on no show.
Exactly.
he is.
Next
He making
caller.
lots of coin. I just think that she never got her win that she deserved. Too many people was in the way. Tyler. I just feel like that she needs to
Wait,
get that win.
Bailey is pregnant again? I didn't know that.
Yeah, her and Bailey and Cam from the challenge are my two faves. They're both pregnant at the same time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're two of the sweetest people, honestly. Like during the rap party when I talked to Bailey and Swaggy, like they talked to me forever. They were so sweet. I'm gonna talk about
Ye-
this too, and I'm gonna talk about it in like a post too, like because some people always ask why I don't like Angela. Because Angela was actually the person that told me that Bailey had a miscarriage before Bailey even
Oh
announced
god.
it. And that's what kind of turned me off about her because she was laughing about it and I thought it was a joke. Because I remember like asking Bailey about it. Like I DM'd her and she was like, "What? Like, no, I really did. Like, I don't know. Like, this was before Bailey announced that she did." And I remember like because Angela came to our table and was like, "Oh no, she fucking miscarried. If that's even true." Like her exact words, what she said to us. And ever since then, I was like, "Girl, you're evil." Like even if that wasn't true or not true, like that's who does that? Who tells someone's business like that? Like something so personal.
Okay, no man Pam, since I heard your flex, uh I need the hookup because Bailey is like my idol and I want to interview her so bad.
Oh, I got you. I'll hit her up. Oh,
She's
not
like
just
one of
being
my
recorded. Oh,
period,
all this
period,
shit.
period, period. Everything I do record it for a reason. I'm a receipt queen for a reason. So yes, and even you saying yes, I need that because like man, Bailey and Cam are one of my like bucket list interviews. I just I will be in fucking heaven. So if you can at least attempt to have some whatever you do, I don't care. I
No,
want
I
to
got
interview
you.
Bailey.
I don't think she's really doing like
Oh no,
press
of
and
course
stuff like
not
that
right
anymore.
now
But I
with
can
debate
ask
and
her.
everything. Yeah, yes, please, and tell her don't have to be nothing long. And if she, cause I know she's pregnant, she want to do it now or later. I have a podcast, but all she got to do is be on the phone. She ain't got to get on camera or none of that. We do the phone podcast. I'm cool with that too. And even if she just follow me, I'd be happy with that. But
Oh,
I'm just telling you because of the flex, and I love me some Bailey.
oh, that
I've
wasn't
been,
no flex. Like it just made me when y'all talked about Billy
it's
and
a
Swaggy.
flex to me.
That
It's a
memory
flex
just
to
came in my
me.
mind. Like that. Like that it was just fucked up
Pam,
what she
it's
did.
a flex to me. I'm
Well, girl,
sorry.
if you lived in LA, Camisha, you would be dibbling and dabbling with these people too.
I would be if I lived in LA. Oh, you live in LA? That explains a lot. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but you have a personality too. People live in LA and don't know nobody. They ain't got nothing to do that either. Don't say that. I know people live in LA, don't know no goddamn body. So you know your personality also, and you're infectious. People like you. So they ain't just that. Come on now. I'm gonna give you a flower, Norman Pam. Look at
Do
Norman Pam his flowers,
do
please.
Do they know me?
You know what? Stop
do
it.
they like him? Do they like him? Just kidding, Pam.
I pulled No Man Pam. We gave him the flower. That's No Man Pam saying. It's a cute saying. I love when he does it. So I pulled it and gave him his flowers. Same with my
Oh,
queenie here, Sheena. Give him their flowers.
give
Period.
Sheena her
Okay?
flowers.
Period. I'm gonna need you to get on YouTube, No Man Pam. I swear to God. Anyway, y'all,
No,
I'm about to.
y'all should do something together. That would
I
be
know
funny.
we
That would
should.
be
We
funny.
could all do something together, like a black view or like a black what do you call it? Like a reality television, the View version.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
that would be cute because you know when it comes to YouTube, that's my lane right there. I know all about that shit. So yeah, that actually would be a cute idea. There's nothing like that on YouTube right now. I'm being
Nothing. There's
honest.
nothing.
There's
It would be kind
nothing.
of cute.
That would it would pop. It would. Damn, that's actually a cute idea. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get over here. Let's talk behind the scene about the good idea. I actually like that idea because I'm trying to get Sheena on YouTube and she refuses. So this might be a way for me to do that. So anyway, y'all, I'm about to get off of here and I want to end this live with good old O'Reilly. Okay? Oh, O'Reilly Auto Parts. Bye.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.